Hello and welcome to another neural network in Godot engine video series. In this video I'm going to create a self-driving car that is going to run with the computer AI, and I'm going to do that with a neural network, and I'm going to train that neural network with genetic algorithm. Okay, I already created a Godot project, and in this project I have textures of a car, of a banner, and I have a texture of the roads. Okay, I downloaded this texture from the OpenArt game, and I will put the link down below in the description. And I also already import my GDNative library in my Godot project. So let's come here. Here in tilemap, I already set my tilemap road, and I already set all of its collisions. Okay, and here I will create a very simple road with collision. So here in this region I have collision, and in the road I don't have collision. Very good. Also created a camera 2D, and I can run my project. So this is my project. So now the things that I'm going to do, I'm going to create my car. Here I will add a node 2D, and I will call it car, and I create a folder called car. So I'm not going to create a very good car. I'm going to create it as fast as possible, because my purpose is to show you how neural network systems work. So I'm going to create a very simple car mechanic in the Godot. So here I just add an area 2D. I will call it base, and here I also add a sprite. In textures I will add this car. So this base is going to rotate, okay, and because I want to rotate from here, I will just move my car to here. So now my car rotates from this point, this bottom point. Okay, and now I'm going to add a collision. And the car is too big, I'm going to scale that. Now I have my car, and I'm going to add a script to car. So here. So I will have some constant. So the first one is the constant speed, and I will put it 200. The second one is constant rotation speed. So this is, I will put, I don't know, 10. Okay, and here I will create another variable is die, is going to be false. A signal called die, and each time the car is going to die, it's going to send a signal called die. And I will create an input. So at the start point, this input is going to be 0, and if input is -1, going to turn left. If it is +1, we are going to turn right. Very good. So here I will create function physics process. I'm going to complete this physics process later, and first I'm going to create another function which gives us this input. So I will say function get input from key. We need to say input is equal to integer input is action pressed UI right. So if I press the right button here, it's going to be true, and it's going to change it to the number. So if is it true, it's going to be 1. If is it not true, it's going to be 0, and going to be minus integer input that is pressed UI left. So this way, if I I have my input. If my input is -1, I'm going to return to the left, and if my input is going to be +1 I'm going to turn to right. Get input. So later I'm going to comment this out, and I'm going to create another function, and I'm going to control my car with neural network. Base dot rotation plus equal rotation speed times input times dot. So let's test this. I will put my car in the main scene. So I will create a 2D node which is called cars. So all of my cars is going to be under here. And here I just map my car. So this is my car. It's turned a little bit too fast, so maybe I will put the rotation speed to 5. So here rotation speed 6, let's say 6. Very good. It's still fast. No, let's put it to 4. Okay, that is good. So my car is rotating. So the things that I want to do with this car, we don't have any control on the speed of the car. The car is going to move with a constant speed, which is 200 in this case. This is very simple example. You can make car also that is going to change its speed, okay? So I'm going to say position is minus equal base dot global transform dot y. So as you can see, I'm going to turn this base, okay? But the y component of the global transform is going to show us this direction, the direction that is the car is facing. So I'm going to say dot y. So this is going to give us the vector of the direction that the car is facing times speed times depth. Okay, let's test that. So as you can see, I can turn my car here. It's not very easy game. Okay, very good. So my car is moving. So now each time that my car is going to collide with the walls, is going to die. So I will create a function called die here. And in this function, I'm going to check if not is die. Is die is equal to true. And then I'm going to emit the signal die. And I'm going to turn off the visibility also. So visible is going to be false. And also stop the physics process function. So set physics process function to false. So I'm going to stop this function. Okay. So now I'm going to send a signal when each time my area 2D enter to another area. So I will say, okay, very good. So area 2D enter a body. We're going to call here. So here I added my tile map to a group of tile. So it's added to group of tile. So I'm going to check if I'm colliding with the tile. So if body is in group tile, then we are going to kill our car. So let's test that. So as you can see, when my car is colliding with the wall, it's going to die. Very good. So my car is done, and now I'm going to create my neural network system. And for that, I need 3 information in my case. So I'm going to add 3 sensors at the front of my car. So I will create a node 2D here under the base. Okay, and I'm going to call it sensors. And here I'm going to add raycast. So raycast. So my raycast should be cast on other way. So I will say -100. Very good. I'll put my sensor top here, right here. Okay. Good. So this is the raycast 1, and I'm going to duplicate these. So I have 3 raycasts. So here I'm going to come here, and then the first one I'm going to rotate that one 45 or maybe 60 degree. Yeah, 60 degree. And the other one should be at -60 degree. So in this case, I added 3 sensors. So my neural network has 3 information of the world that they are inside. Okay. If you want that your car act better, you can also add more sensors to it. Okay. In my case, 3 sensors is enough for me. So now I'm going to, in my code, I'm going to here and I'll say, let's say already sensor 1 is get node. This one. Okay, I have my 3 sensor. So here I'm going to add another function which is called function get input from net. Okay, now we need 3 information, and these 3 information are the distance from our car to the collision point. And as you can see, it's going to give us the maximum distance of my 100. Okay, so it's not going to show us here what is here or show us what is here. Maybe in your game this is different, but in my case the maximum distance that I'm going to show is 100. Okay, I just put my input as 3 variables. So my distance is between 0 and 100, but I want to map this distance from 0 to 5. I already explained why, because in neural network we cannot put a very big number, not bigger than 10. So I will put the maximum number here, so 5, 5, 5, and we have 3 information here. And if my raycast does not detect a collision, I will put still 5 in my neural network. 5 means that the collision point is already far, so you don't need to do anything. Okay, so here I will say if s1 dot is colliding. So here I will create a function that do all the mapping for me. All right, so here I will say function get distance. We pass a position which is vector 2, and it's going to return us a float. So actually this is going to return distance from the us to the collision point, and is going to map that to 0 to 5. Distance, y distance is going to be global position minus this position that we give this, and I will take the length, so that length. So this is going to give us distance, and I'm going to return distance divided by 20. So this way I will return a number between 0 and 5. Okay, so here I will say input 0 is equal to s1 dot get collision point, and I'm going to put this collision point into this function. So I will say get. So okay, that is right. I'm going to write for other one. Okay, very good. So I have my information. Now what I'm going to say, where output is going to be network dot feed forward input. So I'm going to define the net here. So network is going to be null. I'm going to set the network from other place, okay? But now it's null. This is my neural network. So here I will say var out is net feed forward input. Okay, so that is going to give us a number between 0 and 1. And I'm going to map this number between -1 and 1. So here I'm going to say out input, which is between -1 and 1, is equal to out times 2 -1. So this is going to map my output and the zeros element, because output is always in array, okay? Because sometimes we have multiple output, but in this time we have only one output and it is in zeros element, and this is going to map my output to -1 and 1, because my output is between 0 and 1. Now I'm going to create my population and my network. So I'm going to main. Here I'm going to delete this car. I'm going to add a script for cars, and here I'm going to create population, networks, and I'm going to create a new generation, and I'm going to delete the old generation. Very good. So here I would say var pop is equal to population.new, and under this we will say one ready, and here I will create my network var net is equal to GA network.new. So my network as an input get 3 information, so I will put 3. So at layer 3 information, so I will put 3 here. And my network also has some hidden layer. I would put here, for example, 4 maybe. And then my network has one output which tells us should turn to left or right. So I would say 1. So this is the input, and this is going to be output. And remember, you should initialize your network, otherwise you have a weird error. Okay, I initialize my network also. So now I'm going to set my population. So I'm going to say population mutation rate. I will put my like 0.2. Population dot mutation power. I will put it like 5. Population crossover rate. Population crossover rate is going to be 0.2. And population dot keep best rate, I will put it like 0.5, and then also initialize population size. Population dot size would be 50 car is enough, and population dot init. So I will put this network inside network. So here everything is set, and now I'm going to create a function that is going to create the cars. So function create cars, and here I will get my networks. So networks is going to be population.get networks, and here I'll also create another variable which is going to register the number of the cars. So number of cars is going to be initialized by 0, and here I'm going to say number of cars is going to be networks.size, and here I will say for net in networks. So the things that we should do, I should just get the car resource here. So car resource is going to preload car scene. and here I will say var car is equal to car resource dot instance. Okay, and I will say that car.net is equal to the net, and the car add child car. So that is going to also create my cars. So here I will say create cars, and let's see. So the things that happening that my car is already in the collision point, and as soon as I add them, they are going to die. So I will put it here, and let's run it again. Okay. So the things that's happening that I don't set here that we should take the input from the network. So here I will say get input from network and comment this out. Okay. And now let's see. I don't know, it's a very silly things, but Godot, when you add arraycast, it's not enabled by default. You should enable it. Okay. And now let's test that. Okay, here I just found the error. Also, you know, here I put input as the name for my input, and also I put input as the name for this one. So it's going to be confused. So I will say input net here. Okay. And here input net. There were some error in this. Anyway, now I'm going to create the new generation and new car when all of our car is going to die. So I'm going back to the main, and here I also connect the car die signal to this object. So I'll say car dot connect. Okay, die, and here I will say self car die. I will create a function called car die here, and at top here I will say number of die is going to be 0 here. I will add the number of die. Number of die is going to be plus equal to 1, and I'm going to restart the number of die here also. So I will say number of die is going to be 0, and if number of die is equal to number of car. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to delete all of the car that are here. So I will say for car in get children car that creepy, and here I'm going to tell the population, please create new generation of my network. So I explained to you why, but I'm going to call defer that. So I will say call deferred epoch population, and then the population class is going to create the new networks, and here I'm going to say called deferred create cars. So we are going to call this function, so we are going to create new cars out of those networks. So let's test that. When all of our cars are going to die, okay, as you can see, it's going to create new cars each generation. But again, we don't have any progress. For having the progress, we should write the fitness function here. So we should be able to tell which car is better. So in this case, I'm going to also say that the fitness function is the time that is each car alive plus some scar. Okay, I will tell you what is this car here. Actually here I'm going to say var time live is going to be 0 and var scar is going to be also 0. Okay, now in physics process I'm going to say time live is going plus equal to delta, and I will say that net that fitness is equal to time live plus scar. So how we can add a scar? So I'm going to create an area 2D, and this area 2D should have a collision, and this collision is box like this and like this. I would save it like here. Okay, so I will add a script to it, and here I will say signal. So if time that area is going to enter this. So first we should check that area is car. So I'm going to car and I'm going to add this to a group that is called car. So car add, and I'm going back to here. Here I will say if sorry, I should add its area 2D to the car because it's going to detect this, not this. So I'm going to remove this. I'm going to do this add to the car. So it should be base, because our area 2D is going to detect this, not this. So I will say this, and here I will say if area is in group car, then we are going to say area dot star plus equal. Okay, I will add a number here because I want to control it. So I will say export amount is going to be 1. So we are going to plus equal to amount. Wow. Okay, that is good. And now in main scene, this is where my car is going to spawn. And I would say each car that is going to pass here increase their scar. So I will add scar. Okay, so this is my scar. So each time the car is going to pass here, I will increase the scar. But the tricky point is here. When our car is going to rotate from this point, some of them is going to rotate just a little bit and collide here maybe. And some of them are going to collide here. But the difference of the fitness of the car that is going to turn to the right and the car that is going to turn to the left is not too much, if we only consider that the fitness is the time life. But I'm going to add another scar here, and this is tell us that each car that is going to pass this point, that means it's going to turn a little bit right, also add a scar to them. So transform 90 degrees, and I will put deer here, and I think that is enough. That is enough, and let's test that. So we have error. Okay, we should get its parent. So what we can do, okay, let's go here, add a script, and here I will say var parent is equal to get parent. So this variable is going to give us this car, and here this car should be give to its parent. So parent dot scar amount. So let's see. Okay, that was the first generation, and the car is going. Okay, one of them is turned to right. Very good, guys. As you can see, that is working. And if you have any question, please write in the comment section. And till the next video, bye.